While researching the Star Wars archives, I learned a thing or two about the origins and development of Boba Fett, the mysterious bounty hunter. After Star Wars opened in May 1977 and it became a phenomenal success, George Lucas decided to go ahead with a sequel. Concept artist Ralph McQuarrie joined him in October 1977 and Joe Johnston started the following month. They drew concepts while Lucas was writing the story breakdown. Lucas finished the first story treatment by the 28th of November, so that he had something concrete to share with screenwriter Leigh Brackett during their story conference the following week. Over the 5 days of the conference, where Lucas was basically describing to Brackett the plot as well as the background, he never mentioned Boba Fett. There is no mention of a bounty hunter or a character with many weapons or a group of skilled fighters. In late 1977, McQuarrie and Johnston worked on concept designs for Imperial tanks and snowtroopers dressed in samurai-like armour, as you can see in these Johnston sketches. Ralph McQuarrie's Imperial Snowtrooper helmet is also rooted in samurai armour design. He drew many variations to show Lucas. These included ideas for the commander of the troopers, who looks slightly different. Here is Joe Johnston's sketch of the ice caverns on the planet Hoth, dated January 1978. You can see that Johnston wants to make the costumes bright and colourful. McQuarrie's designs, on the other hand, were white, based on military camouflage in snow conditions. From January, both Ralph McQuarrie and Joe Johnston developed the commander of the troopers. They added lots of gadgets and weapons, and informally they called him a Supertrooper. Joe Johnston made colour sketches of the Supertrooper. I believe that these date from around February 1978, since the backpack is similar to other designs of that period. Also, he only has one pouch on the left leg. There are many variants of the helmet design, much like how elite soldiers decorate their helmets during war. And on this page we can see that one of the helmets has a dent in it, and another has a motif that looks like eyes or ears. On February 15, 1978, a deal memo was sent to Irvin Kershner for him to direct the sequel. Then on the 21st of February, Leigh Brackett delivered the first draft script of Star Wars Sequel, as it was titled, which was typed up 2 days later. It does not mention Supertroopers, Boba Fett or bounty hunters. Although the script was faithful to Lucas's treatment, Lucas thought the script was unworkable, so he began rewriting it. If you think that the Supertrooper design was supposed to be a snowtrooper, take a look at Joe Johnston's art from March 1978. It clearly shows the Imperial Snowtrooper design, which is very close to the final design used in the movie. The Supertrooper design evolved. Johnston suggested many gadgets. A rocket launcher as part of the backpack, some sort of portable tractor beam to hold or retrieve his gun. The backpack rocket changes to a more practical grappling hook. He can climb walls. He has a flamethrower. In March 1978, Johnston broke down the component parts of the costume. And here he listed the gadgets. And for your information, the figure on the right was later copied on April 17, 1978 and used for the design of the Kenner toy prototype. Here Johnston shows detail of the helmet with what looks like 2 lights at the top and the rangefinder flipping down. Johnston is also working out designs for the backpack, including 2 rocket arms folding down and the rockets rolling out with handles. Lucas completed the second draft script in April. He added new elements to the plot. At the beginning, Han is leaving the rebels so that he can pay back Jabba the Hutt and get the bounty hunters off his back. Later, Vader tasks a group of bounty hunters to hunt down Han and the Millennium Falcon, using Jabba's bounty as an additional incentive. This is the description in Lucas's script. The group standing before Vader is a brazen array of galactic fortune hunters. There is Bosk, a slimy, tentacled monster with two huge bloodshot eyes and a soft, baggy face. Tuckus and Dengar, two battle-scarred, mangy human types. IG-88, a battered, tarnished chrome war droid. And Boba Fett, a man in a weapon-covered, armoured spacesuit. So in April 1978, it is clear to George Lucas that the Supertrooper is in fact the enigmatic, laconic, intense bounty hunter, Boba Fett. On the 3rd of April 1978, Star Wars won 7 Oscars. The film was 46 weeks into its release, and the Oscars boosted the weekly box office to $980,000, up 23%. 20th Century Fox were afraid that people would forget Star Wars by the time the second movie came out, so they approached Lucas about making a holiday special for television. Lucas agreed out of a sense of obligation and gave his suggestions to the production company. This TV show eventually became the Star Wars Holiday Special. Lucas wanted a cartoon to be part of the holiday special, so he wrote a 9-page outline called The Faithful Wookiee, which was turned into a 14-page script, not written by Lucas, for Nelvana to make a short animation in the style of French comic book artist Moebius. A character is described. A second water monster appears, this one with a rider dressed in a white spacesuit, riding on his back. The rider holds up a tuning fork, zapping the first monster, which dives down into the water out of sight. Luke emerges through the hatch in time to see the Supertrooper zap the monster. This character is revealed to be Boba Fett, and later he turns out to be working for Darth Vader. Vader even calls him the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. The Joe Johnston designs were sent to EMI Studios in the UK for production designer Norman Reynolds to manufacture the costume. Sculptor Jan Stevens and model maker Brian Archer helped to make the costume. Electronics, flashing lights and even a flamethrower were built into the prototype costume. The flamethrower is demonstrated here by Alan Harris. At the beginning of June, Joe Johnston made updated sketches with Fett's armour painted and battered. You can see the final touches, like the gun low on the waist like a gunslinger, the braid of hair and the dent in the helmet. To complete his transformation into Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name, Fett was given a serape. Note also that ears are painted on the helmet. Meanwhile, the prototype costume was nearing completion in the UK. This telex, dated June 22nd, 1978, tracks the dispatch of the prototype costume from London to ILM in San Anselmo. Norman Reynolds travelled to San Francisco and on June 28 helped dress the assistant film editor Dwayne Dunham in the prototype costume for a video. The video was shot outside George Lucas's house in San Anselmo and was hosted by sound designer Ben Burt. They showed and explained the operation of Fett's different gadgets.
Okay, we'd like to introduce Boba Fett, and here he is, a new character. Can you speak to us, Boba?
Certainly.
Boba has sort of a radio voice. There's a speaker built into him here, and also there's a certain amount of telemetry going on and a certain amount of feedback. This is only a black and white tape, and he looks totally white. The concept of Boba now is going to be a multicolored fellow. They're going to actually have different colors, basically blue and green, sort of light, muted colors. There's also some electronics on him here. They don't really show up in the sunlight here, but there's some readouts here there's some small electronic numbers and things flashing in the window. This is a rangefinder. Is this what this is here? This tilts down here, and he can look through this device here and sight on various targets and so on. And there's some little optics and some little lights that blink on and off. There's actually 2 red lights. I guess there's a number of different weapons. There's the rifle, the laser submachine gun, more or less. There's a flamethrower here. Why don't we get a close-up of that aspect here? Okay, it's this structure right here. And guess what? There's some igniters in the front here that ignite propane gas, and it'll shoot out. On top, this is a dart throwing device, rather deadly, and there's other mechanics and electronics related to that there. These also shoot some sort of darts, projectiles from each knee. There's pockets down on the front of the legs here to store various tools and other accessories. Oh yes, on the feet we have, are these blades that kick out? At one time I thought that's what they were going to be. Are these also spikes just for kicking?
These are little darts that are fire out.
Oh yeah, right here, these 4 little pins here.
Well, this is some sort of laser gun. It emits from this little copper end here.
All right.
There's a light that shines out.
Right here. It's like a flashlight. It would be a torch or something.
Flash, yeah. This is his pistol. The back here has a grappling projected from the backpack and goes to wherever it will. This is part of his jetpack. Let me just stand aside.
Sure, have him turn around and get a shot of the jetpack. Can you do it, Dwayne? No. He's fighting to keep the lift, you know, he's fighting to stay down when that's on. Another feature will be what the equivalent of scalps, or actually scalps of some of Boba's victims.
He's got a nice one there.
Yeah, that's right. I was a little too short. Which will be hanging down from this shoulder, you know, sort of like a pigtail might, but these would be the locks of hair of various enemies that he's slain in the course of his mercenary duties.
In that footage, rather than wearing a cape or a serape, he's actually wearing, I think, a Star Wars beach towel. I don't know if or a Star Wars blanket.
Yeah.
Note that there is no dent on the helmet. A copy of the video and Joe Johnston's sketches was sent to Nelvana in Canada so that they understood the costume and the purpose of each of the gadgets and weapons. Concept art was made. Then the script was broken down and roughly animated. With the prototype costume approved, in the UK the production team made 5 more suits, but this time with the dent in the helmet. A total of 8 shipments were sent between June and October 28. 1 suit was sent to Los Angeles along with Chewbacca's costumes and props to film the live-action portions of the holiday special. That helmet later went missing. During this time, Ralph McQuarrie painted some undated concept art. Boba Fett has the helmet markings and serape added by Joe Johnston, but the costume is still white. In Vader's dining room, Lord Vader meets Han Solo for the first time. It does not end well for Solo. In early drafts of the script, the prison was described as a circular area with about 10 cell doors. 3 of the cell doors have a pair of guards in front of them. A windowed elevator shaft runs up through the centre of the room. McQuarrie's painting is a riff on this concept. There were several prototypes of the costume. After the white costume, there was the version with eyes and then ears painted on the helmet. A dressing guide was made to show how each part of the costume should be fitted. Joe Johnston did the fitting. Optical photography supervisor Bruce Nicholson wore the costume. Using the guide, the costumes could be fitted correctly during filming. Boba Fett had his first public appearance on the 24th of September 1978 at the San Anselmo Country Fair. Dwayne Dunham was in the Fett costume. Boba Fett's ship, Slave One, was designed around this time by Nilo Rodis Jamero. This McQuarrie painting, dated September 25th, 1978, shows Boba Fett getting away in the Slave One. This is Rodis Jamero's original circular design for Slave One. Rodis Jamero said that when you looked at it from the side, it became elliptical. George thought it was elliptical, not circular, so that's what it became. This finished design is dated December 14th, 1978. Model maker Ease Oyoung then turned this design into a model to be shot for the movie. For the Star Wars Holiday Special, John Celestri did the Boba Fett character animation, and Fett was voiced by Don Franks. The Star Wars Holiday Special was broadcast by CBS on November 17, 1978 at 8 p.m. It ran for 2 hours and was seen by 13 million viewers. Boba Fett has his first television appearance in the short cartoon segment, making an impressive entrance riding a giant creature and a zapping and water monster with a tuning fork.
What is it, Master Luke? I'm not sure. You saved my life. Thank you.
You are alone?
I have 2 droids. We've come in search of a ship that crashed near here.
Maybe I can help you. I am Boba Fett. The ship you seek is nearby.
Are the Imperial troops near this planet?
They are here, friend, and growing more powerful.
How far away?
Settle down. All they do is eat.
This is all we have, but he's welcome to it.
You are foolish to waste your kindness on this dumb creature. No lower life form is worth going hungry for, friend. I take it you have no love of the Empire.
I don't.
Well, neither do I. It will be easy to find the ship you seek. Follow me, friend.
He also got to use some of his gadgets. The following year, on the 10th of April 1979, Jeremy Bulloch donned the Fett costume for his first day of filming on the set of The Empire Strikes Back. The first scene he shot was Fett walking a frozen Han Solo through Cloud City. The scene where Darth Vader assigns bounty hunters to find Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon was shot on April the 26th. The final line was originally delivered to Zuckuss at far right. Lucas realised that this dialogue needed to be delivered to Boba Fett, so the second unit filmed a new 2-shot with Vader and Fett on May the 16th.
There will be a substantial reward for the one who finds the Millennium Falcon. You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive. No disintegrations.
As you wish.
Lord Vader.
But listen, do you know that Boba Fett wore spurs?
That's
In the movie, he was Clint Eastwood in outer space, and Ben put spurs on him. So listen, when Boba Fett walks down the hallway, he goes ching, ching, ching.
He didn't have any spurs you could see, but we decided we would
put them on anyway.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Lord Vader, you may take Captain Solo to Jabba the Hutt after I have Skywalker.
He's no good to me dead.
He will not be permanently damaged.
What's going on, buddy? You're being put into carbon freeze.
What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me.
The Empire will compensate you if he dies. Put him in.
Take your strength. There'll be another time. The princess. You have to take care of her.
Well, Calrissian, did he survive?
Yes, he's alive. And in perfect hibernation.
He's all yours, bounty hunter. Reset the chamber for Skywalker.
Skywalker has just landed, my lord.
Good. See to it that he finds his way in here.
Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
The first official description of Boba Fett was published in Bantha Tracks 5 in the summer of 1979. Kenner planned to release a Boba Fett toy that fired rockets. Lucasfilm submitted a US patent for the Boba Fett action toy on August 13, 1979, naming George Lucas, Ralph McQuarrie and Joe Johnston as the designers of Boba Fett. However, the backpack did not actually fire rockets as originally advertised, because it was considered too dangerous for children. Kenner did a promotional campaign where collectors could get the Boba Fett action figure ahead of his debut in the film.
From Kenner's Star Wars collection comes the Stormtrooper, the Sand People, and all 20 action figures, including new Hammerhead, Snaggletooth, and more, each sold separately. And now, Boba Fett, Star Wars villain with his laser rifle. Boba Fett is not yet available in stores, but you can get him free with 4 proofs of purchase from any Star Wars action figures. Details on specially marked packs at participating stores. Offer ends May 31st. Star Wars action figures sold separately from Kenner.
The card backs had been printed showing Boba Fett firing a rocket, but the picture had to be covered up because of the design change. This is Roger Castell's original artwork for the Empire Strikes Back one-sheet poster. Note that the final poster does not include Cloud City, Lando, Boba Fett, or the Hoth cannon. The Empire Strikes Back premiered on May 17, 1980, and fans round the world fell in love with the laconic bounty hunter, even though he only had a few lines in the movie. He went on to appear in Return of the Jedi in 1983, and seemed to come to an unfortunate end in the Sarlacc pit. However, he has since appeared in comics, cartoons and books, and has generated a legion of dedicated fans. And who knows what may lie ahead for the character.
We'll meet